Today is September 18th, 2021. My name is Joe Todd. This is an interview with James Harden in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Sir, where were you born?
Claremore.
Claremore.
July 30th, 1926.
1926. Who is your father?
James L. Same.
James L. Harden. And your mother?
Mother is Mary.
No, your mother.
My mother?
Mm-hmm.
Rose Harden.
What was her maiden name?
Rose Cantrell.
Cantrell.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go through school in Claremore? You graduated what year?
Well, I didn't I went to the 11th grade, but I didn't graduate in the 11th grade.
Okay.
I went to work for the Army engineers, the Corps engineers, and got in some, we were doing scientific work, doing surveying for the new dams that went in, yeah.
The dams here in Oklahoma? Yes, okay.
Hula and, what was the name of the other one up there in...
Copan? Copan?
Was it Grand River Dam?
No, it's right here in...
It wasn't Copan?
It's in Oklahoma, huh?
It wasn't Copan?
Yeah.
Copan.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to ask, in your schooling, who was your favorite teacher?
I think it was Mrs. Brown, English teacher.
Why was she your favorite?
Well, I don't know. I didn't have the others. I just, you know, but this one I kind of liked her. She was just kind of down to home type, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did the Depression affect you and your family?
Pardon?
How did the Depression affect you and your family?
We almost starved to death. We didn't live in the country. It was just in between, and we just had a house and 2 or 3 or 4 lots, and we had a cow that got in the feed and foundered when we needed it most, and then we didn't have much food during those hard times. Yes.
What type of work did your father do?
He was a dray master. He took care. He had a wagon and horses, and he went to the railroad and picked up the supplies, and then took them to the store owners there in Claremore. Yes.
Did you help him on the wagon?
I was too little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I was only I was born 26,
Yes.
so I well, I was really too little. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What did you do when you worked on Hula Dam?
I was the recorder for a
Survey? Survey?
Yeah, I was a recorder for we did maps. Let's see, recorder for well, I recorded the information for the
survey for the
survey. Yeah.
Okay.
I was, and when I went into the service, that's why they selected me for the Seabees, because I had those months with the Corps of Engineers. Yes.
Yes. Now, what did you do as a recorder?
Well, I wrote down what the see, it was a let me see if I can I recorded for the it was a plane table that we worked on, and the instrument band would take down the whatever, and I would record it. Yeah. So that way we found out where the all of the different places where it went, and the really just surveying the whole thing. Yeah.
Were you there when they actually built the dam?
No, I was there when they ran the first line across where the dam would be.
Okay.
But we went to different places after that. Yeah. So.
Okay. Where were you December 7th, 1941?
I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at Aunt May's. I really remembered my cousin and I, Fred Harden. We were out playing in the yard, and Aunt May came to the window and said they had bombed Pearl Harbor. And I said, "Where's Pearl Harbor?" We had no idea where Pearl Harbor was. Yes.
In school, after the war started, did you help with the scrap metal drives, rubber drives?
And no,
Okay.
not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you join the service?
I was drafted in August 1944. And why I didn't join I loved flying. Why I didn't join the Air Force, I don't know. But I waited till I got drafted, and then they put you wherever
Yes.
they wanted you.
Would you
And
take?
they put me in Seabees because I had that experiences with drafting and what have you.
So were you drafted in the Navy? Were you
Yeah.
drafted? Okay.
Yeah, I was drafted in the Navy.
Where'd you take your boot camp?
At Farragut, Idaho.
Tell me about boot camp.
Well, it was quite an experience. We had the typical thing. We had an excellent instructor there, yeah. Seemed like a real fine fella. And it was cold during that time, yeah. And it was typical, groundwork to get you established. And we did all sorts of things. We had boats that we went in, and of course I didn't have any idea where I was going, and when we got through, they told us where we were going. So said, "You're going to the Seabees." I had no idea what the Seabees were.
Now, what type of training did you have in boot camp?
What?
What type of training did you have in boot camp?
Well, it just everything. You know, you had like you were on a ship, and you trained for the weaponry and all of that, yeah. And I remember that they told me when I guess had pretty good eyes, and they had me kind of lined up as an observer, with the. And I thought that's where I was going on the ship for that, but that wasn't the way it was. Yeah.
Okay. So from Farragut, where did you go?
I went to California, to the, let's see, it was just a staging area.
Okay.
And when the battalion was established, I was in the 40th, and the 40th Battalion, I'll tell you about it. I was a replacement for those that were lost in the New Hebrides. They were down in the New Hebrides doing something, I don't know what it was. And the Japs and the Army was fighting over here. And the Army pulled out, and the Seabees didn't know it. But when they pulled out, here came the Japs, and the Japs fought the Seabees all that night. And it cost us 700 of our 1,400 people. And I was a replacement for one of those 700 that were lost.
Wow.
They responded so well that they got a presidential unit citation, and it was a little blue ribbon that you wore, and we wore it on the right. Of course, I didn't receive it because I wasn't with them there. But it was worn on the right, and the Army said, we don't wear any ribbons on the right, it has to be on the left. But they still wore it on the right.
Yeah. Now, where did you join the 40th? Where did you join the 40th Seabees?
Yeah, it was in San Diego.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So from San Diego, where'd you go?
We went to, we shipped out to Saipan. We stopped over in Hawaii when the old ship I was on kind of broke down, and we wanted to go look at we were there for about 10 days, and we asked for our money to go, see the sights in Hawaii. And they wouldn't give us any. I had a dime, and I remember I only bought one 10-cent can of pineapple juice. That's all I ever got.
What ship were you on?
I do not remember the name of that ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it was just an old, I think they had hauled wheat on it. An old, yeah.
It was an old cargo ship or
Yeah,
something?
it's just a cargo ship. They are, all of us were on there, all 1,400 were on that ship, yeah.
Where were your quarters on the ship?
Pardon?
Where were your quarters on the ship?
I was just a flunky. I was just, and I was the only one in our, they stacked the, had the
bunks?
beds were
Yeah.
about, I think the highest one was 4.
Yeah.
But 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was the only one in the outfit that didn't get seasick, and they had me on the door, watching the door because I didn't get seasick. Had one guy on there, he vomited all the time he's over there, and when he got over there, he said, I'm never going back on the ship. If they can't fly me back, I'm staying over here. But I'm never going back on one of these ships.
What did they tell you to do in case the ship was torpedoed and sinking?
They just gave us jackets, life jackets, and said, hope that we can find you if you jump in.
How'd you pass the time on the trip?
Well, we just, there was one fellow on there that liked to play poker. Mm-hmm. And I played poker with him some, and he fleeced me. He took everything I had, and came to find out that he was a professional gambler. And I told him, I said, you better not get in my sights when I get somewhere, because you've taken my money, and I'm liable to take more than your money. So I told him that, and I got up and left, never played poker again.
How long did the trip take to Hawaii?
Pardon?
How long did the trip take to Hawaii?
I think it must have been about a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got there, you just bought one can of pineapple
And
juice.
one can of pineapple juice. It didn't have enough to. I guess I could got a can of beer, but I didn't. I got pineapple juice. Yeah.
Did the ship pull into Pearl Harbor?
They pulled. Something happened, and they were there fixing it. See, because we had to wait.
Yeah.
And then when we got through, of course, they took us to Saipan.
Did you see the Oklahoma and the Arizona and Pearl?
Pardon?
Did you see the Arizona?
No, I didn't see any. We didn't get to go up there.
Okay.
And I don't know why I didn't go and just look at stuff, but I never went up.
Okay.
We just kind of stayed around there close, yeah.
So they repaired the ship and you went to Saipan.
Yeah.
What'd you do on Saipan?
Well, everybody went to Saipan.
Okay.
That was our staging area for Okinawa. And of those 700 men, there were bulldozer operators, grader, and every kind of anything that you needed to do. That's what they did.
What was your job in the unit?
I was just with the engineers. I was going to be a recorder. Or we took laid out the runways for this when we got on Okinawa.
Okay. Now, how'd you get to Okinawa?
They put us on the ship at Saipan and LST, and we did not. The original landing was April 1st, and we went in about the 15th. But they didn't. They met no opposition as they went in, and they had told us, "Well, here you go, and this is where we're going to build this strip for the Marines." And of course, that we did, and I was in laying it out, and doing that part of it. Yeah.
Now, what did you do in building the strip?
I was. I did lots of things there. Sometimes it would be on an instrument, taking a shot to see how level the ground was, or laying out the. I remember one time we were walking down. My friend and I were both with the surveying part of it, and we were walking down there, and it was hot. And he had a gallon jug of Coca-Cola came in a gallon jug, and of course we didn't have Coke there, but we had it was full of water, and we were walking along there, and pretty soon the Coke bottle busted, and I said, Joe, what happened? What'd you hit in your leg that broke that bottle? He said, Jim, I didn't hit anything. And he said, I just had that. And he held that up, that neck of that, it had a little tin cap, and there was a hole right through that cap. And that sniper got that close. He got that close to both of us because we were right together, And he took that home as a souvenir when he went home. I remember that, yeah. So we had lots of things that happened, and
What else happened to you on Okinawa?
huh?
What else happened?
Well, I can tell you about one incident that we had that I was when we finished the building the airfield. Then they gave us something to do, and they said, "Would you like to be the recorder of and take the?" You don't have to record anything now, but would you like to take the commandments that we have from here down to the headquarters?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, I'll be glad to do that. I said, to get a Jeep? Yeah, you get a Jeep. And I went back and forth, and they were still fighting some, you know. And one time I was coming back, and I noticed the woods over there were pretty thick. And when I was driving my Jeep, I'd go by this place and really bear down on it, and fast I'd go. And something rattled in the back of behind me there, and I didn't know what it was. Got back out to where the troops were, where we were. And I got to looking around there, and there right behind my seat, there was a little place like that that had a big hole in it. So he missed me that much. And but there was another incident that of course our outfit unloaded the ships. And after that, and that was the responsibility, when we finished the airfield, we had to have something to do. So we had troops that took stuff off the ship. And I remember I was going down the road in my Jeep, coming back from doing the commandments. And here came that 2-ton truck, 2.5, we called them 2.5s. 2.5-ton truck with frozen meats. And I mean, it was loaded to the gills, you know. And on top of it, there was one that kind of hanging off to the side. And I saw that. And of course, we didn't have any fresh steaks, you know. So it looked like, boy, that looks like a piece of steak up there. So when we got up close, I pulled my Jeep over against him, and he dodged it, and that piece of meat came sliding off. And I went up to it, picked it up, and took it to the Quonset hut that we had. I said, guys, get in here tonight, we're going to have steak. And I looked at this, I said, that don't look like a steak. And come to find out, when we cut it up, this guy said, that's not a steak, that's mutton. I said, mutton? Yeah. Well, we cut a piece off of it and tried to barbecue it, and it wasn't good. So I called the guy, we had one of the natives that cleaned our Quonset huts. And when he came out, I said, come out here, Joe. We called him Joe, you know. And come out here, Joe. I said, look at this. I said, would you like to have this thing? And he looked at it and said, for me? Yeah, for you. And I said, take it to your family and see what you think about it. And he took it down, and when he came back, 2 days later, he came back and he gave me a kimono. And we had an interpreter, you know, and a few other things. And I said, Joe, I don't want your stuff. And our interpreter said, if you don't take that, that's the biggest insult you could ever lay on him. And I said, okay, I'll take it. And he said, the interpreter, when he talked to Joe, He said our family had never tasted meat before. We ate seafoods and things like that, but never tasted seafood. Never tasted meat before. And I said, well, I'm glad it happened that way.
Now, what was the reaction of the local people to you?
Mhm.
On Okinawa, what was the reaction of the local people to you?
Well, they just what they did for the Okinawans, they took the revetments where they would take them and take them into the place so they could feed them, because they were just without anything. And I would visit with them, and but we really didn't have much time to fit and do with them. Yeah, I remember one time. Now I can tell you about this. The army had been up fighting at Naha, and when he got through Naha, it had 90,000 people, they said, in Naha, and there was not a building that was left with more than 2 walls. And this old boy came back, and he was coming back they were relieving him. And he was coming back, and I think he was kind of dragging his rifle. And I said, hey, Joe, come in here. We were fed, the Seabees were fed the best food of anybody because we unloaded the ship. Mm-hmm. So we got our picks. And we had excellent food. I said, hey, Joe, I said, how long has it been since you had a meal, a hot meal? And he said, 14 days. I said, well, get out of there, we'll take you down. And we took him down and fed him. And I said, we tried to pump him for what he did. And he said, it is hell. That's what it is. And he says, you can't believe it. We were shot at day and night, 14 days. And we fed him, and he wouldn't tell us anymore.
Now, this is...
This was a infantryman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he an American?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
14 days.
They had relieved him so he was up there 14 days, and they relieved him so he could rest, And terrible fighting went on there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you help build the airfield?
Yes. Yeah, we did. Our battalion, we built the airfield for the Marines.
So the airfield was made of what? The airfield was made of what?
Well, we ground the coral, mm-hmm. And we had those guys that came in and dug that up, and that's what we paved the runways with. And when we got through, and we finished it, and we heard that the planes were coming in, and of course some of us, I didn't have anything to do but run that material back and forth, and I had my Jeep, mm-hmm. And so we went to watch the planes come in. And when we went, we saw this little Piper Cub flying back and forth, and it was an observation plane for the Army. They were going to get in a battle there east of us, and he was flying around, and somehow, when the first Marine came in, the first pilot in his plane came in, that Piper Cub flew in front of him, and he flipped out and ran it into the ground, killed him. First Marine. And terrible thing that was to see that, And they went. It was only 300 miles up to Japan, and they went back and forth, and we would sit and watch them come in, because some of them had been shot up, and they said there was one guy they called Bailout Joe. And when he would come in, if he had anything shot up on his plane, he'd flip it over, fall out, and let the plane go into the ocean. And
He'd bail out?
Yeah, he'd bail out. Mm-hmm. He had Bailout Joe, we call it. So they had all sorts of things. And the end of the runway had a deep gorge, which is where that first plane went in. And we would sit there and watch, and if a guy came up and got even with the tower, and he was doing too fast, he knew if he went on there a little bit, he'd run into that gorge, and he'd stand that plane right up on its nose. And sometimes it'd flip over, and of course we went and watched them come and go and fight, Mm-hmm. And but those young fellas that fought with those Marines and pilots, they sometimes their planes were all shot up when they came back. And a terrible thing. War is a terrible thing. Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When did you land on Okinawa? Do you
Pardon?
When did you land on Okinawa?
The 15th of April. April 15th.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And there was 80,000 Seabees. There was 116,000 Seabees total. And there was 88,000 Seabees on Okinawa waiting to go in on October 1st. We were destined to go in October the 1st into Japan.
How did you prepare for the invasion?
Huh?
How did you prepare for the invasion?
Well, we said, well, whatever it takes, we'll go. But, we Seabees, we were construction. If they had something for us to construct, that's what we did. But when they dropped that bomb, it wasn't one of us said, boy, I'm sorry they dropped that. We didn't get to go. But when they dropped that, then for us, really, the war was over. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tell me about coming home.
Huh?
Tell me about coming home.
Oh, they put us on a ship. I forget what the name of it was, but it was a very nice ship. And I think it took us, seemed like it was only 19 days that it took us to get back. Mm-hmm. It was very new, fast ship, yeah. And when we got home, they let us off. And
where'd the ship land?
It landed in San Francisco. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
What do you think going under the Golden Gate Bridge?
Pardon?
What do you think going under the Golden Gate Bridge?
As we went out, there were some of us watching as we went out. And one of the old guys had been through all of that fighting down there. And he was standing there. We had some fellas in there 60 years old because they were excellent in what they did, And we were standing there talking and looking at the bridge that we done. And this old guy said, this is what he said. You all better look at that. You better look at that now. And maybe the last time you'll ever see it. And we said, yeah. He said, that may be the last time you'll see it. He said, better enjoy it, and you can, yeah.
So you got to San Francisco, and what'd you do?
Huh?
You got to San Francisco, and what did you do?
We had a place to stay, you know, and they said, okay, we'll turn you out, and they turned me out with the rest of them, yeah, and gave us some money, and we went home. Yeah.
When were you discharged?
I was discharged August the 6th, 1946. Yeah. And that's all it was with me during that time. Yeah.
What'd you do after you got your discharge?
I went. I went home, and I just. I didn't have anything to do, you know, and I got me a little car, and then. My cousin that we'd run around with had become a Christian, and he was preaching. And when I went with him one time when he was preaching, and I took him home because I had a car and he didn't. And he said when we went home and stopped, he said, "Jim." Yeah, turn the motor off. He said, you know what? He said, you're going to hell. I said, what, Fred? Yeah, you're going to hell. You're not a Christian. And I want to tell you how to become a Christian. And he did that day. And then I felt like I ought to go to OBU. Mm-hmm. And he and I both enrolled at OBU. And then, of course, I graduated, and then I felt like the Lord wanted me to preach. Mm-hmm. And so for 57 years, that's what I did. I preached. And married a most beautiful woman in high school.
What's your wife's name?
Huh?
What's your wife's name?
Mary.
Mary.
And we have 8 children.
When did you get married?
In 1947. Yeah.
8.
Huh?
8.
48.
48.
Okay.
Now, when did you come to Bartlesville?
What's it been, 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had our home in Caney, Kansas. Mm-hmm. And we raised our children there. Had 8 children. They're all grown now. Some of them are here and there, but they're all fine people, got good homes.
Why'd you move to Bartlesville?
Well, we had to have some place to go. So we heard about this place and checked into it, and this is where we landed. Yep. Yeah.
Would you join the Navy again?
Yeah, I would. Mm-hmm. But if I joined it, I had a brother that was a pilot, a Navy pilot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if I went, I wouldn't go into the Navy. I'd go into the Air Force. Yeah. If I went again, I'd go into the Air Force. Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to do a word association.
Pardon?
I'd like to do a word association. I'll give you some words and you give me your reaction.
Okay.
The first one is boot camp.
boot camp. Well, that's Farragut, Idaho.
40th Seabees.
40th Seabees or 40th Construction Battalion.
Saipan.
Staging area.
Okinawa.
That was the battle.
Sniper.
There were lots of snipers, yeah. And when we got there, they told us, you have any kind of weapon you want, you know, and I had a little submachine gun. And I'd shoot out in the weeds sometimes thinking it's a Jap out there, but I don't know if I ever hit them or not. Yeah.
Where was your base on Okinawa? Where were you based?
Uh-huh.
Where were you based on Okinawa?
Right there with the airfield. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The airfield, was it near Naha, or where was the airfield?
No, it was halfway, about halfway between the north and the south ends. Yeah.
Did it have a name?
Did
it have a name?
Let's see, what was it called? It had a name, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Franklin Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt.
I thought he was excellent president. He and Winston Churchill, yeah.
Harry Truman.
Very true. I thought he was excellent. I think he was misjudged, but I think he's one of the great presidents we ever had.
Dwight Eisenhower.
He was all right, but I don't think he was the caliber that Patton was.
Yeah.
He wanted to appease this one and appease that one, and Montgomery, I didn't think much of him.
Yeah.
But I think that he was all right. Yeah, yeah.
Douglas MacArthur. Douglas MacArthur.
Well, you know, when he went out and said, I'm going to be back and waded ashore there at Leyte, well, I guess he was a good president. But good
Good
soldier.
general.
Yeah, good soldier, good leader.
How do you want to be remembered?
Oh, with my kid, we went and served, and we didn't carry the guns to fight in the battles, but we did our part so that they could fight in the battles. Yeah.
Well, sir, this is an excellent interview.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for your service and thank you for the interview.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that'll do it.
Okay. Well, again, today is September 18th, 2021. My name is Joe Todd. This has been an interview with James Harden in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Thank you.
You're welcome.